So, Borderlands 3 is not in development for the Switch. How is that news? How is a franchise that's never been on Nintendo, that's not gonna be on Nintendo, news? Why are people freaking out over this? I figured this was known. Borderlands 3 is not going to be on Nintendo because it's never been on Nintendo previously. There's no Borderlands on Nintendo. There's no Handsome Collection, no Borderlands 2, no pre-sequel. None of that shit is on Nintendo. No Nintendo Wii, no Nintendo Wii U, no GameCube. No Borderlands on any Nintendo product. Let me get that perfectly clear. You will never find a Borderlands game on a Nintendo product. So writing a news article saying that it's not in development for the Nintendo Switch is not really news. If you wanted it to be news, the real article would read, hey, Borderlands 3 is in development for the Switch. That would be newsworthy because, hey, a franchise that's never been Nintendo friendly is all of a sudden Nintendo friendly. By producing an article like this, you're feeding fuel because you're hoping to, get people to go to your article, for one, which isn't really an article. Two, you're hoping that you'll feed fuel to a console war, and you're hoping to get people riled up, which doesn't really happen. If people are smart about this, they'll just say, hey, that's never been on Nintendo, and they'll go away. If you really wanted people to be intrigued by this article, it would have read something like Assassin's Creed next game will not come to Switch. Because Assassin's Creed has been on Nintendo before with Assassin's Creed 3 and Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I know Unity and Syndicate didn't show up, but that was from a hardware perspective. This is new hardware, so maybe the next one will be. But that would have been a newsworthy story. Or saying something like Call of Duty is still not going to show up on Nintendo. That would have been newsworthy, considering Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, and Ghost were all on Nintendo products. I know none of the more recent ones were, but still, those 4 titles showed up on Nintendo systems. Not to mention the one on the DS. And that would have been more newsworthy than Borderlands 3 not in production for the Switch, considering all those titles have actually been on a Nintendo system. Hell, even Darksiders 3 not being on Nintendo Switch would be more newsworthy just because Darksiders 2 was on the Wii U. Running a news story saying Borderlands 3 is not going to be on the Switch is barely news. And smart people would know that. A franchise that's never been on Nintendo is not news. The best way to make that news is by saying, hey, it's in development for the Switch. That's the only way that's news. Otherwise, nobody gives a damn. And if you do, please explain why. And if you say, oh, because it's not in production for the Switch, which means the Switch is garbage, please realize you're a fucking moron. Because the franchise has never shown any love to Nintendo. So the fact that it's not in development for Nintendo doesn't mean that Nintendo's garbage. You're just a jackass for insinuating that. The fact that it's never been in production for Nintendo, not ever, doesn't mean Nintendo's garbage. It's one fucking game. So, why would it matter? A game that's never been on Nintendo, is not in development for the Switch, doesn't matter.